Minister, the purpose of the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is to make markets work better for consumers and business. I understand that by bringing this legislation to strengthen and to ensure the proper functioning of the international markets. I can now tell you that 2 international markets that are not working. Our pig industry is on its knees and will be lucky to survive in its present format. Surely the Competition Authority can step in to ensure that the industry will survive. In France, across all food sectors, the origin of the meat is visible to consumers. Why not in Ireland? Irish pig, like you go around the whole world, people look for Irish products, but we haven't got it here in Ireland. Irish pig farmers engage continually with the onboard BIA to produce the best product on the market, yet they cannot compete with the below-cost selling of other countries. Below-cost selling of products and to the people that produce it. Minister, dog meat currently is more expensive than our top quality foods to buy. Pig farmers are losing, which translates to €37.84 per pig. And this is according to Tagus. Feedstuff, fuel and energy costs are a huge portion of their fixed overheads. They just can't compete. Minister, my next point is in relation to a service agreement with our phone companies. Every day I'm meeting people who have continuing issues with their providers. They call the centres and they are totally inadequate. And they are unable to deal with the simplest of queries. Rural Ireland has a very poor broadband and are at the mercy of these providers. Comreg gets involved, but the level of stress caused to the companies is harmful to the people and their business. Minister, fertiliser in this country. We have seen the lack of fertiliser in this country. We can see the rising cost of fertiliser in this country. And all the legislation, the regulations that you're bringing in on this, yes, it's supply and demand. You need to support the farmer. Nitrogen is needed early in the year because the temperatures of the ground here, it can't work unless you get nitrogen in. What this will cause if the government do not support the farmer is we will end up with a lower intake of grass, which means a lower intake of milk, and a lower intake will work across the food markets. And what we could end up then now is with food shortages within our country. So now you need to stand up and make sure that the farmers get the reward that they need to keep them going, to keep us fed. You have to subsidise the farmer for the fertiliser. The next point I'm going to bring to you, Minister, is to do with the retrofit that you have launched yesterday. Did you know that I sat in for the Rural Independence with Minister Ryan for the retrofit, and they produced a document in front of me, and the first question I asked, because they have all priced out in paper in front of me of all the different grant schemes that are going to be available, and how much it cost if a house is costing $50,000 for a retrofit, that you get $23,500 of a grant. And I asked the SAEI, when was this document printed? When was the facts that they had on the docket printed? And they told me these houses that they were retrofitting were completed and the paperwork was done in October last year. Do you know that there's been 4 price increases since October last year? 4, which equates to 17% of a rise into do the retrofit. So your percentage of the grant means that a person that has 50,000 of a retrofit in October is now costing 60,000 for the retrofit this year. And this is not coming until the fall of the year. So in the fall of the year, we'll have a couple of more price increases. And where are all the price increases coming from? Anything that's oil-based, and I get this on a weekly data sheet because I'm in construction, and I know insulation, anything that's oil-based or silicone-based, is gone up. Every month since October, I've seen increases, and I can tell you now that the retrofit scheme that you've put out there, the grant needs to be brought up with the inflation of the cost of materials. So if it's costing 50,000 now to retrofit a house, now you give 23,500. If that same house is costing 60,000 next year or this year, you've got to increase the grant aid in line with what the retrofit is costing. That's what common sense is. So don't give me paperwork that's out of date. Don't give the public paperwork that's out of date. And give the real figures and the real facts. Because if you don't raise the grants to match the retrofit, it means that the person that needs to pay for this no longer has an €83 saving per month. But the cost of retrofitting their house means that they now have an €80 per month over a 20-year loan. It now goes from €50, which you put down, it now goes to €70 of a cost over the next 20 years. Don't lie to the public. Put the facts out there. Put the present facts out there. Thank you.